I think it's integral to think about the environment first in all of our decision making. That's because we only have one planet, and if we don't look after the resources that exist now, then we're not leaving a sustainable future for the generations that follow. But what does that mean in terms of us as a business? There are lots of decisions that we make that might seem counterproductive to others, because we're thinking about the environment before we think about the profit or the bottom line. So going on the journey of UK ethical made glass wasn't easy. Going on the journey of launching 100% recycled and recyclable bottles, for example, especially when the industry was moving towards cans, wasn't the most intuitive thing to do. But as a business, using the evidence and using the data to say, right, what has the best long-term impact for the environment, and how does that align to who we are as a business, drives all of our thinking. And it's great to have partners like Encirc on board, listening to the questions that we're asking and understanding our motivation and supporting us to get to an outcome that in the long term is more profitable for everyone if you take profits beyond monetary value. In terms of the history of the brand and why being a responsible business is important to us, it's in our DNA. So Reed Paget, who was the first founder, wanted to create a social enterprise that, in the spirit of the one-for-one model, sold water to bring water to communities all over the world that didn't have access to it. And that original seed of an idea, way back when, was pretty unique. Now I think most people understand that businesses have to operate with purpose. Businesses have to operate with more than just the financial bottom line at the core of who they are. And so today that means that our values align to, yes, being a successful commercial business, but thinking at every stage, how can we do better by society? How can we do better by the planet? How can we do better for our employees? How can we create brilliant sustainable supply chains and ecosystems of people around us that are going on a journey of doing no harm, doing zero harm to the planet? We are going on the journey of creating a strategy for the next 10 years. So under the leadership of Karen Lynch, the business has seen a phenomenal trajectory in terms of growth. Over the next 10, we have committed to our partner WaterAid to continue to invest in them and in the communities that we support all over the world. And as a business, we're saying, how do we evolve and adapt and stay edgy and stay relevant in a world where there are lots of charity waters, in a world where lots of businesses say that they are businesses with purpose? How do we really go the extra mile? How do we create a different story? And how do we figure out what the next phase of business with purpose looks like? So we're about to launch a direct-to-consumer proposition. It sounds crazy, I know, in this world, but we don't actually sell directly to the people that want to buy us. I asked the team in my first couple of weeks for the stats around the number of people that click the buy now option on our website. And a few hundred people have clicked that option, and they can't then go on to buy. So the first thing that we said when we got into the coronavirus crisis was, let's use this gift of time to switch on a direct-to-consumer proposition and do it in the most sustainable, environmentally friendly way possible. We're also thinking about how we evolve our product range. We have mineral water as an option, and we have a growing filtration proposition for hospitality, catering, and the restaurant industry. But actually a broader range for our partners, I think is essential. A broader range that offers the same environmental and social standards as our mineral water feels like the right opportunity now. But also I think any business that wants to be around in the next 10 years has to think about innovation, has to think about products that go beyond whatever the initial core launch was. And I have a bit of a tech background, so we're also thinking about how we can be more tech enabled. How can we feel like a tech company, like a fast growth startup, without having hundreds of bums on seats, not even in the 20s of bums on seats, because we want to work with our partners to scale. In terms of our values, our first focus is balancing our impact, and that goes back to what I was talking about in terms of our environmental and sustainable ethos. Yes, we are commercial, but that impact also has to have a positive benefit for communities in the world. We're transparent. We're upfront about what we're doing well, where we're learning, where we need to evolve, and that's not just externally to the end consumer, but also with our supply chain. We're not afraid to be different, so we might make decisions that others would say, oh, yeah, a normal water business wouldn't do that, but we're not a normal water business. We are a social enterprise. We're a business with purpose, with a different DNA. We want to be good for our customers and good for our partners. So treating our supply chain with respect, and especially in a coronavirus environment, ensuring that we're all pulling forward together and understanding each other's strategies and the challenges and the risks, but also discussing opportunities and bringing some hope to each other is a key part of who we are. We invest, we don't spend. So always thinking about how every penny that we spend, if it's not going directly to WaterAid, how it has a strong return on investment instead of spending for spend's sake. And we always take accountability for everything that we do, even if we get it wrong. All of that combined is about us being entrepreneurial with high standards. As a small, agile business, we can probably move faster than others can't. And so over the next 10 years, I definitely want to take advantage of that. Quite plainly, it's because you demonstrated that we could create a brilliant working relationship, B, always be thinking about innovation and doing things differently. There was a clear values alignment between both of our businesses, and your understanding of sustainability and our ambitions around environment first ticks so many boxes. And for me, coming in as the new CEO, in our first conversations, having an introduction that really went to the heart of you, saying we get who you are as a business, we understand the pressures that you face, but we also understand that you exist to bring water to people, but then ultimately give WaterAid your net profit, which then goes on to help bring water to people all over the world. That understanding and being willing to go on a journey with us in terms of our thinking, that is priceless. And so I know the team, when they found you, realised that there was so much room to grow, and if we did expand out of mineral water into other ranges, having a partner that could help us scale, that could help us test and learn, was key. What does sustainability mean to me personally? Sustainability really is about thinking about our actions and the impact our actions have on a generation of people we have yet to meet. And so, yes, that's environmental, but it's also about how we treat our neighbours, how we treat the communities around us, how we go to bed at night and look at ourselves knowing that we have been honest, knowing that we have given back in some way, but also ensuring that we take the time to look after ourselves and our mental well-being and feeling good in order to be able to do good. So sustainability, yes, ticks a lot of the boxes that most people think of when you think of commercial sustainability, but I also have a personal connection to the term sustainability for the reasons of, in order to do good in the world, you have to feel good too. I'm ambitious. I want to triple our revenue. I want to, at the same time, increase our gross profit because that means that we can do more, we can reinvest in the business, we can drive innovation, but we can also then support WaterAid and other charitable partners to make a difference around the world. And that for me is key. There are lots of organisations that I could have joined. I could have gone and been part of a charity, and I could have gone down a commercial route or started another business. But Belu is so unique in that it's commercial, and it brings people a necessity, but only in the spirit of doing good. And that is such a privilege as a CEO to be gifted with as a role and a job. It's our DNA. It's our approach to the environment. It's our give back to communities and the world in partnership with WaterAid. It's the way that we treat our people and our partners. It's our entrepreneurial spirit and our approach to doing things differently. We take risks and forego what could be making £60 million a year, because actually making 5 or 6 and doing it the right way to then deliver £1 million to WaterAid means more to us than scaling and reducing that profitability, but then also having an inherent tension with our ability to have an environment first approach. So I am really excited about getting into my stride as the new CEO of Belu Water. There is so much that we will announce and that will be coming up shortly. And I hope that everyone at Encirc will be on that journey with us, because there's so much that we can achieve together.